The link between pathological lying and personality disorders. Pathological lying is often linked to certain personality disorders and mental health conditions. While lying itself is not always indicative of a mental health issue, when it becomes chronic and compulsive, it may point to deeper psychological problems. This article explores the connection between pathological lying and various personality disorders, highlighting how certain traits and behaviors contribute to the development of compulsive lying. 1. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD. Narcissistic personality disorder, NPD, is one of the personality disorders most commonly associated with pathological lying. Individuals with NPD often have an inflated sense of self-importance and a deep need for admiration. To maintain this image, they may lie frequently to inflate their achievements, fabricate experiences, or create a false persona, creating an idealized self-image. Pathological lying in people with NPD is often used to create and maintain a grandiose image. They may exaggerate their accomplishments, success, or relationships to make themselves seem more important or superior. Manipulation. People with NPD may use lies to manipulate others into admiring them or granting them the attention they crave. They may distort the truth to maintain control over their environment and relationships. 2. Antisocial personality disorder, ASPD. Antisocial personality disorder, ASPD, is another condition linked to pathological lying. Individuals with ASPD often disregard the rights of others and may engage in manipulative or deceptive behaviors without remorse. Lying becomes a tool for exploiting or controlling others to get what they want, whether it's material gain, power, or pleasure. Lack of empathy. People with ASPD may lie without feeling guilty or remorseful. Their behavior is driven by a desire to gain something for themselves, often at the expense of others. Deception as a means to control. Pathological liars with ASPD use lies as a strategy to control their environment and achieve their goals, often without regard for the consequences. 3. Borderline personality disorder, BPD. Individuals with borderline personality disorder, BPD, may also engage in pathological lying as a means of coping with emotional instability and fear of abandonment. The emotional dysregulation seen in BPD can lead to behaviors such as impulsivity and distorted thinking, which may trigger compulsive lying. Fear of abandonment. People with BPD may lie to avoid the feeling of abandonment, whether it involves exaggerating their emotions, creating false stories about themselves, or distorting the truth to prevent others from leaving them. Emotional instability. Pathological lying may also stem from the emotional instability associated with BPD. When emotions fluctuate rapidly, individuals may lie to protect themselves from emotional pain or to avoid confrontation. 4. Histrionic personality disorder, HPD. Histrionic personality disorder, HPD, is characterized by a constant need for attention and approval, leading individuals to engage in dramatic or exaggerated behaviors. Pathological lying in HPD is often a means of gaining attention or sympathy, even if the stories they tell are untrue. Exaggeration for attention. People with HPD may lie to make themselves seem more interesting or dramatic in the eyes of others. They may tell exaggerated stories about their relationships, experiences, or personal achievements to maintain attention. Need for validation. The need for constant validation drives the lying behavior, as individuals with HPD may fabricate details to feel admired or desired by others. 5. Factitious disorder. People with factitious disorder deliberately produce or exaggerate physical or psychological symptoms in themselves in order to gain attention, sympathy, or validation from others. Pathological lying in these individuals is often tied to a need for attention and care, as they want to be seen as sick or in need of help. Self-inflicted symptoms. Factitious disorder leads individuals to lie about their health by making up symptoms or even faking illnesses. They may go to great lengths to convince others that they are unwell to receive medical attention or sympathy. Desire for attention. The motivation behind the lying is rooted in the individual's desire to receive attention and care. They may fabricate illnesses to manipulate others into feeling sympathy or concern. 6. The link between pathological lying and trauma. In some cases, pathological lying may also be a coping mechanism for childhood trauma or abuse. People who have experienced significant emotional, physical, or sexual trauma may use lying to protect themselves from painful memories or to avoid feelings of vulnerability. Defense mechanism. Lying may serve as a defense mechanism to avoid confronting painful emotions or to protect themselves from situations that remind them of the trauma they've experienced. Self-protection. Pathological liars who have experienced trauma may lie to protect themselves from perceived threats, even if those threats are not real. Key insight. Pathological lying is often linked to personality disorders such as NPD, ASPD, BPD, and HPD, as well as childhood trauma and factitious disorder. Understanding the psychological roots behind the behavior is essential in addressing and treating the condition effectively.